Hello, my name is Cressida Cowell and I'm the Waterston's Children's Laureate and also the writer and illustrator of Hatching Dragon books and the Wizards of Once series. And I'm talking to you here from my writing shed where I wrote and illustrated all of my books. I've been invited here by Bibliobuzz. I've got the fantastic privilege of announcing the winning book from the schools and libraries from this year's fantastic shortlist. It's been wonderful to see so many of you get involved with the authors, visiting your libraries or taking our recent series of online challenges. On to the shortlist. I'm introducing them to you. The first one is Anna at War, which is by Helen Peters. As life for German Jews group becomes increasingly perilous, Anna's parents put her on a train leaving for England, but the war follows her to Kent, and soon Anna finds herself caught up in a web of betrayal and secrecy. How can she prove whose side she's on when she can't tell anyone the truth? For actions speak louder than words, and Anna has a dangerous plan. That's Anna at War. Second one is The Middler by Kirsty Applebaum. Maggie lives in orderly Fenniswick, protected from the outside world by a boundary. Her brother Jed is an eldest, revered and special, a hero who will soon go off to fight in the war, but Maggie's just a middle child, a middler, often invisible and ignored, even by her own family. When she chances upon a wanderer girl in hiding, she decides she wants to be a hero like her brother and sets out to capture the intruder. But once Maggie peeks past the hedges of the boundary for the first time, suddenly everything she's ever known about her isolated town gets turned on its head. That's The Middler. The third one is A Pocketful of Stars by Aisha Busby. Sophia and her mum have never seen eye to eye. Her mum doesn't understand Sophia's love of gaming, and Sophia doesn't think they have anything in common. As Sophia struggles to fit in at school, she wonders if her mum wishes she was more like her confident best friend Elle. But then her mum falls into a coma, and when Sophia waits by her bedside, she finds herself in a strange and magical world that looks a bit like one of her games. Anna's a rebellious teenage girl with a secret who looks suspiciously familiar. That's A Pocketful of Stars. Now, next one is Can You See Me? By Rebecca Westcott and Libby Scott. Tally is 11 years old and she's just like her friends. Well, sometimes she is. If she tries really hard to be, because there's something that makes Tally not quite the same as her friends, something she can't cover up, no matter how hard she tries, but because Tally is autistic. Tally's autism means there are some things that bother her, even though she wishes they didn't. It means that some people misunderstand her and feel frustrated by her. People think that because Tally's autistic, she doesn't realise what they're thinking, but Tally sees and hears and notices all of it. And honestly, that's not the easiest thing to live with. So that is Can You See Me? Then we have Checkmates by Stuart Foster. In many ways, Felix is a typical boy in Year 7, enjoying playing games on his PlayStation 4 and hanging out with his friend Jake at the weekend. However, Felix is struggling at school. He is not a problem child, but he does have a problem. And I know about Felix's problem. He's ADHD, because I often was in trouble at school. His ADHD makes it hard for him to concentrate. He keeps getting into trouble and his grades are slipping. When his mum suggests that he spends more time with his grandfather, Felix is horrified. Ever since Grandma died, his granddad has been grumpy and more eccentric than before. All he wants to do is sit in the dark and play chess. Felix knows that this will be extremely boring, but sometimes we learn valuable lessons where we least expect to, and perhaps Grandad and Felix can help each other. Okay, and the last one is Malamander by Thomas Taylor. Okay, so Herbert Lemon, the lost and founder at the Grand Nautilus Hotel, knows that returning lost things to their rightful owners is not easy, especially when the lost thing is not a thing at all, but a girl. No one knows what happened to Violet Palmer's parents 12 years ago, and when she engages Herbie to help her find them, the pair discover that their disappearance might have something to do with the legendary sea monster, the Malamander. Erie-on-Sea has always been a mysteriously chilling place where strange stories seem to wash up, and it just got stranger. So those were the 6 on the shortlist. And the winner of the Schools Award, the book voted for by pupils at the 33 schools who have taken part in Bibliobuzz, is Anna at War by Helen Peters. Congratulations to Helen, winner of the Schools Award. And the second award is the Libraries Award. Libraries are very special places because they're somewhere where you have a librarian who's an expert in getting the right book into the hands of the right child at the right time. And you have just a choice of all of these books. I always thought this was amazing as a child, which are free. You can try, you can risk, you can find. That's where I found books that I loved, like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and The Wizard of Earthsea. I love fantasy when I was a kid, so I discovered all those books in the library. The book voted for by everyone who has participated in Bibliobuzz via local libraries is Checkmates by Stuart Foster. So congratulations to Stuart. Congratulations to all of the authors who had books on the shortlist. Well done to you all. Thank you to everyone who has taken part. We hope you've enjoyed discovering the books, finding new ways to show off your skills and go on to some fabulous literary journeys, whether that's on your own or with your family and friends. Thank you so much.